Well, post it, somebody.
And my pain.
Hi, hey, we're alive. How y'all doing?
There we are! Hello everyone! My name is Generous
Hello.
Heel, and we are late to start this extravaganza into what I like to call therapy session. And by therapy, I mean everyone is gonna suffer. Today with me we have a few people. Say hi, few people.
No.
Hi.
Understandable. Very well, very good. I am super happy to hear that. If that's the case, we're just gonna go around real
No
quick,
doubt, yo.
introduce yourselves and your character, going from Silver Kitten, then to Socks, then to Fallen is missing, then to Chungy, then to Novi, then to Dakar the Demon of the Wisdom of Stovi. Go, go, go!
Hi, I'm Silver. I'm playing Kiki, and I took her name away from the chat because you cannot see it anymore. Also, I did update the stream, so have fun, I guess. How y'all doing?
Amazing.
Great.
My turn, I guess. I'm Socks. I'm playing Persephone. I'm engaged to the one whose name you can't see, the nameless one. That sounds great.
Mm, nameless one, that's great. Chunky.
Oh shit, my turn. I'm playing Herr Herz und Blut. I am objectively the most bullied character, even though I've done nothing wrong. I am being held hostage to my country, and these people are racists.
Holy shit!
You know,
Uh,
I'm gonna acknowledge that.
This is elder abuse right there.
Novi, what are you playing today?
Hi, I am Novikian. I am playing two people today. I am playing Concoda and Dimitri Donderinger, the seventh, eighth. I don't. There's a number there. But that's me. That's what I'm doing today. Jacking up.
Oh, I see. Very well. Toby, it's you.
Hi, I'm the elf on the shelf, Dr. Kurai saying, being a life cleric. I'm literally witnessing elder abuse right in front of my eyes, and I do not understand why that's happening.
Anyone wants to give a quick recap? We can go for it. Otherwise, we can just roll along this burning track.
You want a quick recap of what happened approximately 2 weeks ago in real time?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Well, you need to know, Jin, if you weren't paying attention to your own game. How dare you not take notes for your own game? It's also a DM tool too. We went and spied on a elf man who lost his lore, didn't lose his lower jaw, has a hard time speaking, but also lost one of his hands. And apparently it was his good old swinging hand. So we spied on him with the scry spell. We went and messaged him. We went and found him, talked to him, learned of a secret, super special weapon that they're going to use against the front lines. So we agreed to take that on to hopefully get a meeting with the queen a little bit faster. And then we reported back. And that, in the tail of it, was all we really did. Yeah. Timed that. That was like a minute.
Yeah, that was pretty
Fantastic.
solid.
Yeah.
And we will resume from where we last left off. Now, you find yourselves once again into the camp of the Drew. Kiki,
Huh.
what are you doing?
Is it like the next day, or are we still on the same day?
You have had a long rest because you wanted to take a long rest.
Yes, indeed, we did. Good. Right. So, Kurai did say that they wanted to show me something, as in a memory. So I'm gonna go talk to Kurai.
Mm-hmm. Korai, what are you doing in the camp?
I'm just sitting, just writing my journal. What hers has given me for the information that he knows so far, which is sadly not much. So I'm worried.
Kurai, do you get a minute?
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned that you wanted to show something, a memory.
Yes. Are you prepared for all of it?
Yes. Today I can take that memory, or more accurately, copy it, and tomorrow you can show it to me.
Alrighty.
Doesn't take me very long, as I take one of the scrolls that we took from the temple, and some glyphs and markings on it, and then I showcase it, like hold it between my hands. Just touch it and think of the memories that you want to share with me, as much or little as you want.
That is the good thing. As much as little as I want.
Mhm.
Well, I think it seems fair to show you what fully exactly happened. Though I will let you know there are some blanks in those memories.
Well,
But it's best to show you the whole thing on what really happened and what happened between hers and I.
all right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Just rip the band-aid off. Let's go to the trauma train.
Well, we
Very
will
well.
see that in whenever after I take a long rest. Because I only have one seventh level spell I can cast.
Indeed. Are you bringing anyone else with you on this memory trip?
I think I can only either take a memory or go look at the
Mhm.
memories.
Hmm.
So like,
So you
hold
wish to
on.
just observe them?
No, like, hold on. Let me just post the spell that we created.
That is the important thing.
Reading the spell explains the spell.
Yes. So Cora, are you willing, or do you want to make a DC 19 save?
I'm not gonna roll. I'm willing. I give her full permission to snoop around.
Lame.
Yeah, if you cast a spell without targeting a creature, you open a similar portal into a library.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you're taking the memory very well.
Yeah.
It's the process. Indeed you will. What are you using? Your book?
A scroll that we took from the temple.
Very well. Kiki, you press the scroll down to the ground, and Kurai, you feel something within your mind a bit lifted. Like the sensation of slight dizziness as from one of your ears, the spectral energy of your very own memories slowly exits your head and is transcribed down upon the scroll. On the scroll appears a red glowing eye, scribbling that you cannot read except for Kiki. Takes the form of the Eldish incantation that one must use once within the palace to witness the memory.
And I close the scroll and it disappears. Well, that is now stored in my mind palette. And I suppose we can go through it tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be wonderful.
For now, I think we need to talk with everyone to not commit war crimes.
Is that normal in your group?
Well,
I'm trying to commit war crime?
I like to think not.
Kiki, you can be honest. It's okay.
Depends what you count as a war crime, I suppose.
Well, you're talking to someone who used to be in war, so I mean, yeah, it's true. It depends. I don't know what you guys been doing in the past, but okay.
We've tried to do a lot of good things too. There's a lot of bad things as well, but either way, let's get everyone together so we can discuss.
Yeah, okay.
I assume Grimthought is doing now his new Grimthought duties, so I will let him do them.
Grimthought indeed does the Grimthought things as Grimthought does. You do notice him talking with his father. As you're searching for your friends, you would be met by this handsome orc fella. Drock, Grimthought's cousin, approaches you. Hey! Yes. Kiki, right?
Yes, Trug.
Hey, he still got it. Great. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. I've got a little plan I've been cooking up, and I know what you and Grimthought plan on doing, and I gotta be honest, I don't think it's a good idea. I've had a bit of thinking about it, and well, I can't change his mind, and you seem capable, so best way to help you out is by actually being useful. So I actually talked with your friends, and well, they got themselves a plan. I just thought it would be good for you to know that.
What are you talking about exactly?
He points over towards the armored figure of a knight covered in honey, talking with Azel, and goes, "Yeah, they've been talking with a human. Joel, I think, is the guy. And they've been well, they've been thinking on what they would be doing. So I suggested to them, hey, we don't know what the hell's happening on those we want to hurt. Would be good to know." So they decided they were gonna go on a little espionage, I think is the word. Not really familiar with these terms myself, I'm an orc. We fight with honor and all that stuff, so... But, it would be good for you to know.
Right. Well, I am gathering everyone so we can talk about what we're going to do.
Oh shit. Alright.
Thanks for the information.
Yeah, you can trust me on that. Alright then. I assume I'm not invited to the meeting of yours, so I'll go about helping people pack up their things. See ya later. See ya.
I just kind of give a nod and just awkwardly continue wherever I was headed.
I just waves goodbye.
Mm.
It follows Kiki.
Awesome. Perfect. You gather everyone in the main tent, the chieftain's tent. You wanna bring Grimthond in with you?
Nah, I'm just gonna let him do his whatever he needs to do.
Nothing.
I think we can inform him of the plan, but we don't need him for the planning.
Very well. Yes, you gather everyone up that you want to gather. Who you want to bring into this meeting?
So, everyone here, and then also everyone who we tracked from Magiana.
All right. All right. You all gather in the tent. It would be about, I'll say, early in the day. It doesn't take you too long to do this. About
So,
11 in the morning, everyone gathers up.
did anyone have any bright ideas while going to bed?
Actually, yeah.
Alright.
Dimitri kind of looks over. It's like, well, me and Coda discussed it a little bit. And it's very clear that we don't really know who we're dealing with.
No, we don't.
So perhaps we change that?
Alright, what are you suggesting?
Coda keeps up. Well, Dimitri knows of a spell that can give us information on people without having to look at people. Yes, quite. Legend lore, as it may be, the spell. I do have it to cast. Dimitri looks over towards Persephone and Corine, like, do you also have the means to prepare this spell?
I do, yes.
I do, yeah.
Then I would suggest maybe we cast as much as we can and learn as much as we can about our enemies, and perhaps even go far enough down the hole to learn about the weapon potentially. This way, at least we'll know what we're doing. At that point, hopefully we'll know what we're dealing with. And there we can make an informed decision on how we want to go about this.
I agree. However, even if we know what the weapon is, we don't know how they will be transporting it. So I still think that somebody should go to get information to the capital.
I also agree with that. That should be fairly easy for some of us.
Turns
Joel.
towards Joel, yeah.
Yeah, nods.
What?
Poor Joe.
Actually, I've been thinking on it, and well, it's no common secret, but we've been working on something. Hazel nods. Yeah, we've been thinking on how we can help you all, since it's dangerous going out there. People might die, and that would be very bad. So we've been thinking we would go into the capital, and we would try to infiltrate into the castle and try to get a look into those movements that Kigane has. See where he's going, see what he's doing, see what his subordinates are doing, and, well, get an upper hand. A gauntleted fist slams towards a nearby table. Indeed! And we will do so with great stealth! I will be assisting! He will be assisting.
Will he actually be assisting?
From afar, I hope, right?
Joel nods. We actually will need someone to, cover our backs in case things get messy. I actually wanted to ask you, Dimitri, to help us, but you already seem to be having things down. Isel will be helping us with emergency transport in case things go haywire, as well as arcane support. As for me, I am well proficient in breakings. I'll be able to get the information we need, hopefully, and bring up something important for you to use. Maybe something useful even.
I could also ask hers to go to the capital as well to get any information for the weapon in Kagane.
Speaking of that, have you talked with hers?
I have. I talked to him about the weapon, and to both of our surprise, he knows nothing about the secret weapon. Despite his status, he hasn't heard anything about it just till now.
I see. Alright. Sure. And, what do we have actually in the plans of stopping that thing?
Well, there is the bomb. There is us physically stopping it. There is us destroying the roads. Those destroying the roads would slow it down enough. But that's if they're even taking it via road.
Good point. What little intel we have is that they most likely will take the road. But it's also very much used by civilians, so...
Don't worry about that. As much as I hate to say it, this is a war-torn nation. As soon as we get this out of control, it doesn't help it. Evacuating the people out of this land would be first priority, regardless.
Oh, that's a hard job.
Agreed.
I've lived with the people of Ashington. Getting everyone out, if you have a way to teleport thousands of people that I don't know about, that would be mighty impressive, but otherwise, an exodus of so many people would be... It would require divine assistance, I'll be honest, and even at that, I don't know where we would put them. They would be in great risk. Can you harbor this many people?
That is what we need to know. Where could these people go? Because Gavari is not going to take this lying down, unless this land is still in Gavari control. If we plan on relinquishing that, it's just going to be a war zone again. So I do not think we should worry about damaging the land. When this war is said and done, I will fix the lands here.
And how exactly we will go about this? I am very much against killing common folk if we can avoid it.
I'm not suggesting killing the common folk.
Thank goodness! I was getting mighty depressed there for a few moments.
I'm suggesting destroying the land and making it almost incrossable.
You are a powerful primalist. Could you actually tear the land apart as you claim? Is that something you can do?
Given enough time, yeah.
That will draw the ire of the Empire. And it's likely that, well, from what I know from the Circle of Druids that used to be part of these lands, they are quick with retribution. A while back, a few months, I think, their supplies were attacked by Druidic Mark. They wiped out an entire enclave in response. And I found out later that, well, part of their military information actually hid the fact that they were not even responsible about the attack. Some other unrelated third party came in, caused some damage, and the Empire took it upon the most likely suspect. When they found out that they weren't even the ones responsible, they just hid the fact. Well, not hid. They just did not spread the information. The bodies of the people were very much in view.
I see. But regardless, destroying the lands is something I do have the potential of doing, but destroying key root points is probably the best way to go about it. We may not know how they can transport, or what they'll all use, but eliminating certain transport routes is the best way to go about it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we go about talk of destruction, could there perhaps be a better way to do this? Surely there must be another option.
This is just merely an option.
Well, we don't know what the weapon is. We don't know how many people will be transporting it. And we don't know if we can, destroy the weapon from afar via magic or something else. So, we're really just shooting in the dark at the moment. But we're just discussing options.
Well, that's why I'm saying. Perhaps maybe legend lore is the best way to go about this. But Joel, tell me, you wouldn't have to have supplies that I might make scrolls for you, right?
Lies? I have a few, but about scrolls materials, no. The only supply of magical variety that I do have is my getaway. It's a personal trinket, and he pulls forth a scroll.
I would actually
Uh,
need blank scroll paper, actually.
Oh, I do have blank paper if you want it. And he hands you, like, 20 sheets of blank paper.
Good. Well, Joel, since you're going on this expedition with them, I believe a certain spell might come in handy for you. How would you feel about a couple copies of Alter Self? Why be you when you could be someone else?
I never had the chance to play around with that kind of magic often, actually. I did use it once when I was infiltrating into a very undisclosed location, but I am familiar with it, yes.
Well, it's not so much different from, Koda's transformation of a dragon or into animals. It's just you can use the spell, and you will turn yourself into a different being.
Delightful. I will require a couple. I am not... Magic is weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Understandable. But there should be enough for you to go around for all of you. This way, at least, if you need to get away, you can always look like someone else.
On the subject of preparation, this legend spell, what are you going to be using it on?
Well, depends on how many castings we can get. That is the real question. If we can get enough castings, we can cast it on key figures, and then hopefully gather enough information to know what we're dealing with. We can also go back and meet with the Resistance and see if we've gotten a name for the weapon. Possibly.
We could also just shoot them a sending.
Oh, yes.
However, I think since time is of the essence, Joel, Isel, and Oswald, I think you should head out as soon as you can.
Then I will get started on them scrolls right away. And Dimitri will summon his ink pen. And proceed to transcribe multiple copies of a Alter Self spell.
Alright. So, what did you need again for legend lore?
Well, we'll need incense and ivory strips.
Hold on, Silver's googling legend lore.
You need about 250. This is the meta Persephone. Incense worth at least 250 gold pieces, which the spell consumes, and then 4 ivory strips worth at least 50 gold pieces each. So that's 200 gold pieces of worth of ivory, and then 250 worth of incense. It's a costly spell.
It is. I think we can just dig around Coda's bone bag, and I think we can get ivory from there. But how are we gonna get that much incense?
We are transcontinental beings with the capability of transporting literally to any big city that we dream of. I believe a smoke shop should be somewhere around here.
I mean, a
Very
smoke shop,
easily.
I suppose, but it could also, as long as the herbs are high quality, we do have the. She was helping Grimthorpe's grandfather. the name is slipping my mind.
Isel, without looking up from her book, from their book, goes. Do you mean Gare or do you mean Thistle?
I think Thistle. I don't. They add herbs before, and you can make your own incense relatively easily. Especially it's used often in
50
healing
gold worth
practices.
incense. It's a lot. Like
Damn.
a lot.
It could just be fancy ass incense.
It could be one expensive stick.
It could be some cones that are just stuffed with,
Depends
like
on how good that shit is.
50 GP herbs.
Hey,
Good kush.
It's a lot of fucking incense.
Okay.
You are,
Hey,
for
Jen.
Legend Lord, you're smoking up. Like,
You are. Hey Jen, seeing as I'm from the magical capital and I am the daughter of
Magics?
a merchant daughter that is very high on the business, where the fuck can we get that much incense that's worth that much?
Well, technically speaking, if you can real quickly go shopping in Magiana, you can get it, but...
We don't have time
yeah,
to go to
I mean-
Mariana.
Oh man, if we only didn't have 4 days till this happened.
Oh
Yeah,
man, only
also
if we
that,
couldn't,
like-
circle
Like,
back there and then go through a tree.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
If we didn't
You've
have
got-
teleportation, that would suck.
Like there are a lot of stores in Chenter, like the capital city, that specifically deal with selling components for spells, of all matter of kinds. Even there's a big competition on it, so most prices are reasonable.
Hey
be-
Code, I wanna go shopping for incense and bones?
That's the plan.
I mean,
Well,
I do
bones
have
is
a block of
different
incense
matter.
on me. You can have mine.
elephant ivory.
You have that much? For multiple castings of the spell?
No, I only have 2 blocks.
Dimitri also looks up, it's like, you know, incense is just a vegetable material, isn't it?
Yes.
I wish. Yeah.
Somewhat.
Could I not just make a whole bunch?
Oh, well, that's a smart idea.
You know, I am the teacher of the defense against the dark arts. I'm a powerful wizard.
You sure are, buddy.
I definitely 1000%.
Hmm. Well, can you make it? That would be very useful.
But yeah, just
It
can I
will
see
save
it?
us time from going point A to point B.
Yep. As soon as I get these scrolls done, hand me that incense, and I will literally make you a ton.
So hey, does
It lasts a day.
does the magic capital have like bunch of ivory stuck up somewhere that I know? Well, we do know where the black market is too. If that's you know.
Ivory is a material you can find in the capital. Black market, of course, will give you anything, so long as you're willing to do stuff with shady people. Actually, as far as ivory goes, funnily enough, Grimfoot's people got you on that. They hunt, like,
They have husks for
consistently.
days.
Yeah, and this was also like, I mean, Ashington was the biggest rhino sanctuary you could have ever seen before the Empire rolled in. Now there is not that many rhinos anymore, actually.
Not yet.
Yeah, but there's plenty of ivory to use in the camp. They kind of use it even for decoration. In fact, within the very tent that you're in, you can notice on the walls, like, the skull of an elephant with its tusks still attached, like, hanging from the wall.
You don't think they'll miss that, will you?
You know, I will go talk to Grimtod's cousin, and I will round up all the ivory that we have on the camp here.
I see. We're gonna do it and then apologize. Got it.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, so you do that. It doesn't take too long. You don't find Grimfoot's cousin. You actually run across his grandfather, because his cousin is busy, helping people, where his grandfather isn't.
Every time you talk about Rock, I'm just like, like he's helping people. It just feels like he's doing something illegal, and I don't know why.
Sure, you can. I mean, if you're that afraid, you can keep an eye on him if you want.
No, I won't, because Grimthod trusts him, so that's enough for me, but you know.
Alright. Drew is more than happy to lend you the ivory, but once you explain to him that you actually need it for spellcasting, he is a bit begrudged. Those are trophy kills. So he's gonna ask about the tribe, see who is willing to give up the trophies, and surprisingly a lot of people do, so long as you promise them that you are actually getting them out of the situation that they're in. At this point...
We wouldn't
Well,
be
to
here
reassure
unless we
them-
went to...
The ivory's not going anywhere.
Doesn't it go away as you cast
No,
it?
No.
it's just the incense. The ivory remains, but the incense is the one that vanishes. You can reuse the ivory time and time again. It's the incense. You can't unburn it, unfortunately.
That is hilarious. Then Druok actually will just lend you his actual fucking mammoth skull that he has, and be like, is this okay? Is this alright?
Kind of looks just like,
Work.
it's beautiful.
It's
Also, yes,
perfect.
this man with his fucking two bare hands can lift an entire mammoth skull.
But
I'm
it will
just
then
like-
also lift the mammoth skull and be like,
We
you took
Surely-
good care of it.
we just need 4 strips. Do you? I don't want
You polish it?
A mammoth skull!
Every day.
the mammoth. Are we just going to burn the incense within the skull? Is that how this is?
Yeah,
going to work
because that's
now?
rad as fuck! It's just silver talking, not kinky.
Yeah, that's fair. It is.
So
rad
it's
as
just like,
fuck.
were we not going to do that from the very beginning?
I suppose.
Fantastic. And thus, you have acquired the materials to cast your sweetity magic.
Yep.
Very well. Post the spell upon the chat.
Oh, that big ass skull.
Well, did y'all prepare it? That's the question. I have prepared both creation and legend lore.
Holy shit, so much. Creation grants you the material, of course.
Mhm.
1, 2 legend laws.
Hold on. There we go.
3 legend laws. Very well.
Let's see here. I believe I might actually upcast creation because I don't have an extra 5th level spell slot. Oh, I do! I do. So I don't have to upcast creation. So
Huh.
Dimitri will make a 5-foot square of incense.
It's a lot of incense.
A lot of incense.
That's a lot of incense.
That's a lot.
Very well.
Dimitri just kind of looks up and like pats himself back. Great and powerful wizard. Just saying.
I'm glad you
Excellent
could use
magic,
your
my friend.
magical abilities to create a bunch of incense.
Cheating out spells.
Cheeky little casters.
So
Alright.
basically, we can start doing bunch of legend lore on the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Well,
doing it
I
the
can
next
actually
year now.
do. I can do one today.
I can do 2. I can do 2 today.
No, but
You
we
can
don't
spend
have.
a day just...
I don't think we have
learning.
that much incense.
We have a 5-foot cube.
Yeah, yeah. In
Will
a
be
day,
honest.
after a day, we have 1 foot cube. Of
Do
that.
you want to know how long it lasts?
Oh, I'm
How
so
long?
I'm so
Vegetable
fucking
material.
stupid.
It
No, I'm
lasts
so-
a day.
Okay, for some reason my stupid dumb brain went 1 day. That's how long it will take to create, and that's why I was like, Adamantium, where does it huh?
Yeah,
I know
No,
my
that's the
D&D
good-
spells.
that's how long it lasts.
I know my
And-
D&D spells. I know my 1, 2, 3s and ABCs.
We got some legend lore happening.
Continue.
Okay.
Alright. The first thing that must be determined is who is the target of your legend lores. I'll go by the number of people in the chat. So, Dimitri, you're casting first creation, so you're gonna go last on this, since you're providing the materials. Let's start with Persephone. Who are you casting legend lore on?
Oh lord. I want to do it on Kagain. I want mine to be on Kagain. There's something's not sitting right with the fact that he can cause such necrotic, like, permanent damage and not, like... There's being blessed by the gods, and then there's whatever the fuck that is, and I don't trust it. So I would like to do my legend lore on our good friend Kagain.
Fantastic. Before I start going off, Kurai, who are you casting legend lore on, or on what?
My brain says the secret weapon, but in reality, I know that's impossible, so...
So State Gixus. That's the poison dude.
Yes.
Very well.
Well-
And
Oh no, continue on.
and lastly,
Well,
Dimitri, who are you?
I will wait to see if we get any other interesting names from the legend lores. Then Dimitri will cast legend lore. So I gotta use the bathroom. So here we go. Lord up.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright. The incense burns within the in-case of the skull. The smoke billows from the sockets, and suddenly, ancient runes of magic form. Arcane weaves conjured at the base of the skull, and divine magic wreathes the top. As 3 different spellcasters using the same focus together begin to combine their magics to see into the past, to uncover the truth behind these legendary figures and try to gain some information, advantage as it may give them. The first one being Kagain. And Kagain has quite the history. There are many names that Kagain goes by. Titles that he has earned within the military of Gevaria, true, but more so from his mercenary days. You witness him in these brief visions. A dwarven man born under the earth, a kingdom of stone that called his home, until one day it was attacked. People from the Underdark emerged. Figures so alien one could not describe them outside of them being called the Flayers of Minds, Illithids. Kagain, in an act of brave debauchery, carved a path for his own escape through his own people. He was one of the few that managed to leave by trampling down those that would stand in his way of escape. From there, Kagain made a band for himself, mercenary as he was, strong of arms, yes, but more than most, he was ambitious, determined, and above all else, he did not back down from any chance to truly bring horror to the battlefield. Starting with the title of Headhunter, Kagain would actively seek out goblin and kobold settlements and cut down their very fingers to sell them, and when he could not find them, he would take away the lives of the smaller folk and sell them as tribute, replacing them and putting them amidst the lot, gnome little tidbits, and selling them for goblin scraps. In his life, he was also given the title of the Blood Dwarf, almost famously known as the Scream Hunter. His band traveled the world in a terrifying expanse of murder. His expeditions and contracts always resulted in the death of whoever he was contracted to kill, no matter how many of his own warband died or suffered in the process. And it was a revolving door. His own members did not stick around long, and those that did were as fanatical to Kagain as they were extremely murderous. Largely indifferent to the suffering of others, Kagain's sole motivation seemed to be gold, and unleashing death and bloodshed upon the very world he is in. This has led Kagain to indulge in increasingly depraved acts in order to get the gold that he craves, and there is no moral or ethical line that he will not cross. However, with your magical spells, you learn a truth that many are not aware of. A truth that many should not be aware of. 3 are the dead gods that are known as Baal, Bane, and Merkel. The return of Baal to the realm of Verx has given Kagain a unique opportunity to apply his skills. For in his younger years, he traveled with one that bore Baal's very blessing. Baal's very being, the god of murder himself, a shard of him entrusted within one of his allies at the time, and their efforts truly made an impact to the dwarf's life, and brought the dwarf to the eye of the god of murder. It is there that Baal himself decided to test Kagain and grant him even more power in exchange for service, in exchange for loyalty, and Kagain obliged. Given his love for killing and his lust for gold, his utter lack of loyalty to his slain brother-in-arms at the time, who Baal murdered in cold blood to test his ruthlessness, the black-hearted dwarf made a choice. To this day, he fights to glorify the god of murder more than anything else, satisfy his own desires, and nothing else. His sole goal is to kill. To spread misery? No. Spread death? No. It is to kill and maim, to leave scars, and bring endless devotion from the fear that he reaps, all dedicated to the god of murder. His powers are, however, well known to you through this casting of the spell as well. Kagain bears the Bloodgord's Great Axe, a legendary weapon that makes him tougher than most dwarves of his kind, most soldier that is, sends him in berserk rage, and he is blessed by the god of murder himself. Outside of his own martial prowess and capability to withstand punishment without fail, he is also known to be able to cut down masses of enemies in mere swings. His blessing is simple, yet devastating. His axe denies all manner of healing magic from being employed to weak fortitude targets. In addition, should you find yourself on the receiving end of one of his attacks and your own fortitude and vitality be drained, at a low health point total, you may simply die outright from one of his attacks. Kagain reaps life with the same ease that one reaps weeds. That is to say, put it in gameplay terms, if you happen to be at a low health total, if Kagain attacks you, you must make a Constitution saving throw. If you fail, you're reduced to 0 hit points immediately. In addition, whenever Kagain deals damage to you, you are not receiving any healing. For if you do, you will gain no benefits from it. This is a warning. Kagain's attacks are brutal. In addition, the dwarf has an immense health pool. I will not tell you his exact hit point total, but he does surpass the 500 mark. This is due to his blessing of murder. For each soul that he kills, he gains 1 additional hit point. Lastly, Kagain can steal the strength and vitality of his enemies. If he drops you in combat, well, he can reap your essence of your life and bolster his own. Essentially, in gameplay terms, if you are reduced to 0 hit points by Kagain, Kagain gets to gain as many hit points as you have hit die. He rolls it all, and he gains that many hit points. Regains them, of course, not maximum increase. This is why Kagain is known as the one-man army. Even if he faces terrible odds, given enough time and, well, enough bloodlust, he can carve a path all on his own. These visions come in the form of terrible moments in his military career, if one could call it that. And as the visions end, begin the others. The visions of one known as Gixis. Again employs Gixis as one of his trusted lieutenants, but more than that, Gixis and Kagain go way back. Gixis was a member of the House of Knowledge, aspiring to research into ancient magics and ways that one may bring devastation to the world. A weapon creator, a manufacturer of arms. However, early in his careers, he realized that his own gift for magic was a dwindling flame in contrast to those of his, well, classmates. Gixis never could perform the feats of magic that his classmates could. Instead, his mind drifted naturally to curiosity in the field of artifice. But even there, he could not create machines or constructs. Instead, he plied his trade in poisons, acids, and venoms. He knew how to work the flesh like no other, and he was a great doctor at his time. Graduating with a diploma in medical science, as well as the creation of a multitude of commonly used poisons and venoms, he initiated his performances into the military program and ran across Kagain as part of a contract. Ever since, Gixis has been able to employ his dangerous traits within his own experimentation. The military uses many of his family line's inventions to this day. The Dragonbane venoms that the military uses to bring down dragons were all created and upgraded by him, in recent years that is. In addition, he is the one behind the ingenious troop known as the Fumigators, troops specifically designed to bring disease and death, destroy their opponent's weaponry en masse. Gixis strives ever onwards to create weapons that can bring death in large numbers. He wishes, above all else, to create a catastrophe in climax and in scale as horrible as the conclusion of the Heartscar Wars. However, Gixis himself is not that capable of a combatant. Not really. His true strength lies in his subordinates and his mechanical implementations. Not many know this, but Gixis somehow has found technology to repair parts of himself that failed him after a time. In truth, Gixis actually has Warforged technology implemented onto his own body, in the form of a mechanical arm that works as a hand. The heavy claws are dangerous. Even somehow he has managed to gain access to this technology that is highly contested to be, well, highly theorized to be part of tournament technology. A difficult task, to be sure. And it does show, for he is able to mimic parts of tournament experimentation in his own applications. Above all else, however, he is a capable alchemist. He's able to conjure and concoct vials of terrifying poisons, even trapping elemental energies within. And of course, all of them are meant to be utilized in the creation of hazards. Slow and steady, he will kill someone if he so desires. However, he's not a fighter, ergo, he is much more likely to hide and run than face his opposition head-on, or let others do it for him. Gixis has worked through boxes for years, and any servants that Kagain deems are not as useful often will be supplied with Gixis' newest and most experimental inventions. These are the two legend lore spells that you do cast. This is the information they give you.
That is sick design right there. Not gonna lie, love it.
Thank you.
So what should we put the third one on?
We already got information about the weapon that Kagain has. We could maybe try to add. Well, I don't think the secret weapon has any lore because it's probably
It's new.
just
It's not of legendary status yet.
Yeah.
But I do think it's not Kagain's, but I do think it's a Gix's creation. Now, we can inform Joel and all that. And we can inform Joel and all them about it. And then possibly give them instead of a broad window to search, a more controlled window. But it's potentially way more dangerous. Because he fights with disease.
Yeah, I mean... Like, poison and diseases we can kind of deal with. It's not... I'm not too worried about, us if we're going against the weapon. I'm more worried about everything else that is around it,
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to cast a Legend Lore on? Doesn't necessarily have to be an enemy. It could be just any person, place, or object.
We know where they're going to go to test the weapon, right?
Yeah, it's... literally, like, they're gonna move it from Remparton to here.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, couldn't you cast it on the place it originated from, or that it's coming from? On that location?
I do not know if Legend Lore works that way. Well, yeah, I guess place. Do you want to ask about Rampart?
It's not a
That's
bad...
not a bad idea.
Yeah, like, if we can get any info to help, Joel and the troop that is going to snoop around there.
Yeah. Then I think that's a good suggestion. Let's do it. We will cast Legend Lore on the city of Ramparton.
City of Remparton. Known as the Shining Jewel of Eshington, and housing the Glavska family line, the city of Remparton has known quite turmoil in its time. Founded in the early thousands by the very first of the Glavska family line, Emberius Glavska. I guess I'll just write the name. Remparton has served as the capital, as the seat of power for the Glavska family line ever since. Originally, Remparton served as a hub for trade, specifically in the matter of trade from local wildlife. The ancient circles that resided within of druids, which at the time were a combination of elven and shifter people that lived in the fringes of society, they tended to and took care of the rhino population of Eshington in ages past. However, when eventually Gevaria became a freestanding empire, it is then that Eshington declared independence and crowned itself a sovereign nation apart from any other. For years, Remparton has served in the protection of the people that live within. Heavy, powerful iron and stone walls protect the central buildings, not impervious to most forms of physical trauma, and even magical at that, as they bear natural enchantments to deter magical effects. Blessings from the druids that resided here once long ago. And the walls still bear these blessings, albeit in a weakened effect, ever since Imperial occupation. And as a matter of fact, half of the castle that makes up Ramparton's capital city, it is entirely built originally through magic alone. Druidic magic, in fact. Most of the structure today, the royal castle that is, features a variety of different passageways that are hidden from common view. Most of them were utilized for the transport of large animals. So most of the corridors are large and allow for the passageway of multiple people, as well as beasts of burden, even to the throne chamber. On top of that, the castle features many prominent long towers that have roosting spots on the top of them, allowing for flying animals to come upon as they please, as big as griffins or even dragons. In recent days, that is. Ramparton has a history of being extremely durable, even in the days of sieges. That is due to the fact that most of the land within Ramparton itself, the city, is fertile, even due to the fact that it is occupied. Blessings and natural enchantments doing their part, of course. This allows, even in times of siege, for crops to be yielded within the city, allowing for longevity for the people without the need of additional reinforcements or supplies. It is one of the reasons why Ramparton is considered so hard to conquer, as it can withstand long sieges without any real difficulty, even in the midst of winter. Lastly, something that is important to you, is the fact that Ramparton has hollow walls, allowing for the passage of people within them, of course. Despite the fact of how durable they are, the walls themselves are structured very much like fortifications that are meant for people to go in and out of, even from the inside, to fire projectiles from the outside, etc., without great difficulty. At the basic level, that is. In addition, the aqueducts underneath Ramparton connect all around the city, even within the royal castle itself. One could use them to enter the castle with relative undetectedness, should they desire to be sneaky on their approach, as many of the building's sewage systems connect with prominent parts of the royal castle itself. If someone, of course, did not have trouble traversing such terrain. Oh, and one more thing. Ramparton as a city does have a structural weakness that is not easy to exploit. But if you are close to it, you can. You see, much of the city was built by magic, and so, should that magic fade, not that the buildings themselves would break apart, but they would become a bit more fragile. To the point that if one were to detonate the city at a specific point, one could bring down the entire structure, well, the entire city itself, to the ground with a well-positioned magical strike. However, that magical strike should have to be underground, for one, and specifically close to the royal castle, which makes it rather difficult to, acquire the situation of, as they do not connect with the sewers, and one must enter the royal castle itself to get to that point. It is highly protected, even by structural standards. And of course, it would need to be dispelled. The network of magic that maintains the city to this day, it requires a powerful dispellation procedure. Either a very powerful spellcaster or someone with the means via magical item to pursue such a trait can do this. Of course, I'm not suggesting you to do this, as of course, one can immediately understand that such a devastating strike would bring death to every single person in the city who has the total hit points of, 6, like a commoner. Of course. but you're pretty certain you would survive it. You are stronger than most. As far as history goes, Ramparton has survived many sieges, but none of that is too important, as I don't think that is something you care about. I believe that is it. Oh, and something you should know. There are no ways for someone to enter from outside the walls in without someone opening the way from the inside.
Okay. So it'd have to infiltrate first, then get in.
Yes. Joel, have you ever been inside the city?
Oh yes.
Yes.
I have been there.
Well, I also think what might be important here is to also perhaps get the foremost expert on the city as well on our side.
Who would that
That
be?
being the queen.
Ah, a wise suggestion, but to acquire her help, we would need to prove ourselves to the resistance movement, and that requires dealing with the weapon.
Yes. Or an emergency meeting.
I don't know if you're going to be granted it.
Well,
Were the people you met lenient?
they like us. I'm pretty sure, right? What the Koda's told me, they at least like you somewhat.
Well,
But
don't
they,
lose anything by asking.
Well, what if we asked her to help to get our moles on the inside?
does he have loyalists to him, and not Kagain?
We are currently thriving on the same goal, so
It doesn't hurt
No,
to
I'm
ask.
talking about does he have loyalists to him? Like
To Kagain?
Bavarian troops that are loyal to him, not Kagain.
good question.
Though I do agree with Dimitri, though. Healing Kagain is not an option.
No, and I suppose when the enemy's raising the corpses to fight on their side, it would be a dumb decision either way.
Yeah. So I agree with what he stated. We should turn him to stone.
Well, that comes after. Right now we're going to focus on dealing with this weapon.
Aye.
Kurai, can you send a message to Hertz and ask him if he could help us get our people inside Ramparton?
You want hers to help get certain people out?
No, in.
Oh, in. Yeah. Who are those people that
Us.
hers will help?
And then some.
And some?
Yeah.
How many?
Well, would it be just be Joel, Isel, and Oswald?
Yes, in a sense. But we'll also have to be doing this later on. You forget they have scrolls of alter self. If possible, they might be able to walk through the front door. Joel has done it more than once.
Honestly, I could probably smuggle us in. Look, you don't need to worry about our mission that much. If we can find something of use, we can find it, and I can get us in. Trust me, I have my ways. And by that I
Alright.
mean, forged
Good.
paperwork to get through the gates, and disguises will get us in without too much trouble.
Itzel, do you have a way of contacting us?
I can prepare one.
What
soon
about
as-
Oswald?
I do believe sending would be important here.
Oswald goes, "I have ways to help people and heal their wounds, and also stab bitter souls."
Oswald be talking so much even Discord can't pick him up.
Discord cannot pick Oswald. The helmet is muffling his sound.
Well, when you get close to that pattern and when you're inside, Oswald, I think you should just stay silent.
Oh, no ways! I can be as silent as the night breeze.
That's
Winds
why
are
the altar
gentle.
self is important. Oh, Joel, before you go, what is the queen's name?
Queen's name? Oh,
Hmm.
right. I suppose you were not familiar with her. Yes. Well, I personally have not met her, as you know. However, I do know it. It's Katrine Glavska.
All right. Jin, would you put that in chat so I know how to spell it? Thank you.
Already, I got you, fam.
Thank you.
Oh, you could have cast Legend Lore on her. Oh well.
Oh,
Who says
what?
I'm not?
Are you saying we can't create more incense because we can?
I
I
do
don't even
have
think this
another
was the
5th
whole
level
day.
spell slot available.
That
I
is
could also
true, yeah.
just subtle spell it and just go fuck it. We don't actually need any of this.
Oh yeah, shit.
Oh boy. Oh, actually, yeah, you can just do that, huh? It's funny.
I sure can.
Huh.
I won't,
Oh.
because it seems mean.
Well,
But
there's no need when
Metamagic's
we have free
pretty great.
spell material right now.
Yeah.
So, my suggestion is, and this is Coda speaking, maybe we do an emergency meeting with the queen. We still plan on helping. That is for sure. But knowing more about her and her possible location and getting there might be pretty important.
Why do you want to meet with her before we've done this job?
Possibly just to speed things up a little bit.
I don't think she would know any more than... Well, let's put it this way. They've sent us
She
on
would
a
know the more of
suicide...
the ins and outs of the castle. Yeah.
She would, but I don't think she will know any more about this weapon than anyone else, because they told us straight up, this is a suicide mission, and they didn't seem to have any more information to give us. And even if they did give us the more... If they were keeping information on us, what would that achieve? I don't think it's just some weapon we can walk up to, kill the guards, and then take it with us.
Yeah.
But we can definitely talk with, the resistance and ask them if they know any more about the ins and outs of the castle. But things might have changed since they've been gone.
Well, I guess now we wait for them to return with information on the weapon then, huh?
I suppose so, and Well, in the meantime, maybe we craft some traps or maybe try to have a look at the land. So, is there anything else we try to achieve on this fine day?
It's a good question. You could do the memory thing if you have a higher level slot.
Well, that's not how Warlock works.
You have an
Should
8
we?
level slot, don't you?
They're not slots, technically.
Oh, right. You can. Alright.
Yeah.
Should you just short rest?
No, it's still.
That
It's a
no, it's
Arcanum.
Oh,
it's a long rest, which is 4 hours
okay.
for me.
What the Wait, you can just take. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You can take the 4-hour nap.
Normally you can't, but.
You're
I
the
can't-
DM. You make the rules.
I mean,
I mean,
literally.
No, it's not that. It's yeah. You don't
I
gain
mean-
the benefits of a long rest until another day has passed. Normally. However,
But
if you want to do
elves are cool.
if you want to do a power nap,
Fucking
I'll
hell, there
allow it
ain't.
this- I'll allow it this once. You can do a power nap, and
4-hour power.
Yeah.
That sounds. Whenever.
oh yeah, that 4-hour fat nap.
Why is it whenever I take a 4-hour power nap, I feel like I'm on a whole other fucking planet and don't know what day it is?
it's a fantasy
wish I was
game
me.
where you can. It's a fantasy game where you can have money. You can sleep every day, every night for 8 hours, and when you and you wake up, you are perfectly fine from everything.
here's
Man.
the question here. When is Joel and them leaving?
I
Well,
suppose.
hopefully today, unless.
Yeah, whenever Dimitri finishes with the scrolls.
All right. So, what? We saying 3? 1 for each of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe just 3 for, Oswald.
Make him feel
However,
included.
however they
Just make him feel included, okay?
Oh boy.
Yep.
I'm just gonna let hers know through the sending stone that I'm gonna ask him that there's gonna be 2 people named Joel and Azel to come over to get through
And
the wall
Oswald.
and Oswald to help them to get through the wall. And please do not touch Oswald under any circumstance. Do not touch him. I beg of you. Don't touch the honey man.
I think of all the stuff I have that can help right now.
Did our NPCs get the cool language frogs that I do not remember
No.
the name of? No?
I have the name in my notes. Hold on.
I wrote it down as understanding rock on my item list.
Is it this one?
Yes, the
Yes.
universal translating.
Okay. Even though I don't have it on me, I just wrote it down for some odd reason. I was like, that's a cool item.
Coda has one.
I will give
Should I just?
mine to them,
Okay.
since I think they're gonna need it more than I do in these days. Well, this should help you at least a little bit.
Very well. Time passes. Do you desire to have your power nap?
Yes.
Very well. you rest for 4 hours, and the rest of you are doing things on your own, I suppose. As time passes, eventually Kiki will wake up. Gain the benefits of a long rest, but you will not gain them again until you have a proper rest again.
Alright.
Very well. Is it memory time? Or are you going to pursue the weapon without the information?
Huh?
I don't know. What are you doing? Tell me.
Hey, Kurai, you ready for Drama Town?
Oh, no, but let's get it over with.
Going in there?
Yeah, I suppose, if any of you walk in on, Kiki and Kurai going through Kurai's most horrific time, then yeah, you can enter.
Let's do it.
Oh, I thought it was just gonna be Kiki, but okay, I guess I'm bringing the whole party.
But, like, I'm not telling y'all that this is happening, so, like, if you stumble upon us, sure.
Okay. Definitely.
Maybe
I'll have
not.
a question about something.
I would definitely tell Persephone, because, like, if somebody stumbles upon our, like, almost dead corpses, then, something bad may happen.
Yeah, I'll be bouncer. Persephone will just be posed outside like, no.
You do not touch the sleepy elves.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going in?
I think Coda would like to do at least.
Of course.
To be fair, I did advocate. Like, I would love to trust him. He just needs to tell me what he's planning.
I was not expecting to bring a child back to trauma with all the war stuff, but okay.
Listen,
all right.
Coda's been through so much. He's fine.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. He's fine. You
Doubt.
can do his next if you want to.
We had a
Who's
therapy
going in?
session once. Kurai and
You guys
Kiki.
need to go through therapy again, so does Kurai.
Indeed.
Very well. It is just Kurai?
And Coda.
No. I'm sorry, Coda.
Very
You
well.
can watch over the corpses.
The memory. Sorry. The gateway opens, and all of you, those who are entering, go catatonic on the floor as your mind begins to wander. Boy.
Well, for starters, welcome to my mind. It's a beautiful library that is very organized.
Impressed.
Now, a couple of things you should note. All of these books here are... Most of them are my memories, some of them are others. If you try to take them with you when we leave, they will just disappear. And if you destroy something, well, I don't want to find out what happens.
I can rest assure you I have no intention doing any of those.
Now, let's see. Dever, can you fetch Kurai's memory?
A brush of thought flies off, and soon enough, a tome floats towards you, almost brought before you in the same instant that you asked.
Out of curiosity, what does the book look like, Kurai? Because it's your memory.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh. There's a book on there and the title. Oh god, I need to go through my notes. I really was not prepared for this. Out of everything I was prepared for the backstory, I was not prepared for this.
You get to
The DM can
customize your
back me up
book.
that I was prepared for the backstory, but not for this.
I haven't had a chance to use this on someone else and we actually go through it, so
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fair. No, we haven't got
I
a
really
chance to
got
do that
nothing.
yet
I'm
either.
gonna let DM take the wheel for this because I was literally not prepared for all.
Well, okay, it's probably not a happy memory, right?
No, absolutely not.
So, like, what I'm imagining, it's like a little bit scorched, a little bit slash and hack marks.
There is a trace of like lightning burnt marks on it as well.
Interesting. I see that, it has left quite a mark on you.
It really has.
Well, let's open it then.
Very well. You open the book. The pages flutter, empty at first, though for a brief moment you see a flash of light before your vision goes white. And then, fog. Fog builds up and mounds and flows from the tome, surrounding the corridor that you're in within your mind palace. The memory takes form and shape, revealing its true form. You find yourselves on the top of what appears to be a palisade. No, a wall. In a sea of soldiers. The soldiers themselves do not pay attention to you, and neither does the person on the pedestal, the wooden one at that. An armored figure bellows out, talking to the soldiers en masse. The figures of the men around you lack features. Not perfectly remembered, Kurai cannot recall quite everyone who was there at the beginning of the War of the Giants. In the distance you see them, the war host. The Kivarian forces have gathered outside the walls of the city. The siege begins soon. Amidst the sea of soldiers, you see them, light-crowned troops, dedicated to maintaining the morale of the soldiers present here within. Amidst them, you recognize one that you have not seen in a long time yourself. A version of yourself that you have not embodied in a long time. In the distance, as you are looking out, you notice that all of you that you are here, the soldiers do not react to your presence in the slightest. Almost as if they do not see you or they don't acknowledge you. The figure at the top speaks, and does so with a mighty tone. We are sons and daughters of kings, of queens. This land is protected by sovereign right. And they have come to challenge that right, to trample it, and with it the people that we have sworn to protect. Our lives, we will endanger them for the benefit of all who stand with us. You are each a soldier true, raised in different lands. But you are more, much more than that. Now you are soldiers of the Alliance. The crowns have gotten us all here to fight as one force. One radiant, righteous force. Dispel your fears. Dispel your anxiety and your misfortunes. Today, the bot is dying. One moment. Let's see if we can fix that by doing
Why
this.
Xara? Why out of all the times?
There we go.
There we
Not
go.
had enough.
It was like, it doesn't... No.
We are the
No.
soldiers of kings. Our true order is to be found on a field of battle. Our purpose? To be the bulwark against the shadow. And our goal? To drive them back. They will kill your sons, your daughters, your friends, your family. So fight! Fight to protect! Fight for your king! Fight for your queen! And most of all, fight for yourselves! And the soldiers, with one voice, raise their spears and cheer. Kurai, how do you react to this, in this memory?
Just, for now, normal. Nothing bad so far, but they know the big storm is coming.
And so it does. In the distance, the figures of two large dragons soars upon the field of men below, bellowing out a battle cry for the ages. The battle that will signal in but a few moments would be one of the most devastating catastrophes to befall the land, well, since the Hearthskull Wars. And that is due to the Givarians utilizing a weapon that they thought would bring them an advantage. A giant weapon at that, quite literally. Giants had joined the war host, employed by Givaria as a means to bolster their own forces, but most importantly, to bring down the walls of the city that you have been tasked with defending, to cause as much damage as possible to the defenders from a distance and then from within, once the giants could scale the walls with greater ease than most of their soldiers. Behind them, the undying forces would take, well, their own climb, to weaken the defenders before the actual soldiers took march. No one could have seen where that would exactly go yet. We're going to shift our perspective to the distance of the battlefield. Suddenly, your vision blurs. All of you find yourselves split in two places for a brief moment. The memory coincides with the information that Kurai learned at the time from a different person. Herr Hertz, you find yourself in the midst of this war force. You are just one of the many soldiers here to serve your empire, as a good soldier does. The forces all stand before the grim march is ready to begin. Before you, one of the commanders bellows out orders. Form a line! You, Battalion Alpha! You will assault the walls the moment the breathless horde falters. If they break through, you are to support them from afar and break in at any possible point. If you witness any light-crowned resistance, eliminate the battle priests. Cripple their support, the rest will fall short. They are many, but they are weak. Their unity will splinter before the might of the Empire! You heed these words, as you have done most of your life. Amidst the battle that is about to come, you would find yourself in danger and peril. And so, the grim march began. Gavaria begins its walk upon the city from the distance. Amidst the many soldiers, you find yourselves in the thick of battle, but no one pays attention to you. You are observing the memory. You shift back into perspective, Kurai upon the walls. Kurai, what did you do during this battle?
During this battle, I've mostly been focusing on reaching out to aid any injured soldiers to see if they are able to stand and head back to safety for now. And I'm keeping an eye out on the field to make sure I don't run across a certain Gavarian soldier that I heard about.
Suddenly, as the battle pursues, At this point, Kurai would have noticed amidst the soldiers a form of hurts, but there are just too many to pay attention to. One, the giants at that point had managed to close in on the walls, boulders smashing against the stonework, and they have managed to climb. Despite the defenders' protests and defense, boiling oil can only do so much against toughened steel. The giants had no trouble making it their way past the flimsy barricades that they had set up at the top, and even had less trouble to bring the wall down from within. The forces were told to retreat within the city. But the moment the walls fell would be the moment that everyone there would be stranded. Kurai was tasked with retreating back into the civil world, where most of the city's innocent folk, the commoners that could not escape in time, were placed at. Many of the soldiers here were tasked with forming makeshift first aid stations. The war had begun no more than an hour, and already you had your hands full. Soldiers came in brutally wounded. Some of them were already missing or having broken limbs from the assault of both soldier and giant alike. However, your light crown support withheld, and, with a pincer strike, begun a shift of the tide of combat, a moment of respite for the soldiers in the Alliance, as the aerial support from Griffin Riders provided much needed levity, but it did not last long, for neither side. Once the army was within the walls, the giants trampled to the citadel, trying to capture the main point of the city. Kurai, did you remain back at the ward, or did you go to fight?
Are there any other battle priests in the ward at the moment?
You would see a few, yes.
You?
Yeah. You would know many of them. You had arrived with about a squadron of 10 in total for your battalion. Well, for your unit, I should say. 50 battle priests were present in the city during the battle. You know only 5 or so survived, including yourself.
Seeing there are battle priests in the ward, they should be all set, healing the injuries. I'm gonna head back out into the battlefield, see what's going on, and see if there's any survivors out there.
The rest of you watch the memory of Kurai leave. Kurai, you know the actual one that observes this memory if you're there with them. You would know that none of the priests within that ward survived. What happened next? Kurai ran off to fight, to join the forces in the front line and get whatever people that he could out of immediate deathly danger. It is at that moment that Kurai would find himself in the first engagement. One of the first, at least. Well, themselves, of course. As the battle wore on, choice encounters with members of the military were unavoidable. Skirmishes within the city, trying to capture territory and push on towards the capital. Well, not the capital so much as the central structure, the citadel. The rest of you follow Kurai in this journey, trying to keep up with him. However, the fog of war is thick and heavy. As you're following Kurai on this journey, you come across the same thing that they did. A squadron of soldiers. However, in the brief moment you realize the soldiers themselves are not so despondent as you thought. Kurai, I will need you to give me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. My first roll.
Oh boy!
Depending on how well you roll, we'll see
My.
what happens.
Can I
there we
aid
go.
them
Roll.
in any way?
Go From inside the memory, no. From outside, Persephone, you would witness suddenly Kurai shake. Shivering. Kurai, you know what happens next in this part.
This is
The
wild.
Imperials, the Imperial Warbringers skewer through unarmed civilians. You barely catch the glimpse of it. The soldiers turn towards you, but they also look past the form of Kurai as they leave behind their bodies, and spectral afterimages of them take steps forward, pointing to you. You realize they see you.
Huh?
Like, wait, current Kurai or past Kurai?
Current Kurai.
Huh?
Oh, fuck. Ah,
Iki,
shit.
these afterimages take form, and can you give me an Arcana check?
Kiki didn't mention anything about this.
20, 30, 20.
You would notice the magical effect of your spell should not put you in danger unless if the one that you took the memory from is within the same memory and is having a panic attack, which Kurai does.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna close the book.
Alright. Give me, Alright. Give me an intelligence check.
Just a straight check.
Yep.
Okay. 8.
You try to pull yourself out of the memory. To focus your magic, something is awry. You realize the memory has gone rogue. The spears of the soldiers rise and are hurled towards you.
So I take hold of Kurai's shoulders, and I like step in front of them. Well, I'm still a lot shorter, but whatever. And I just look at them and I say, Kurai, listen to my voice. This is just a memory. It cannot hurt us. I need you to calm down. Take a deep breath with me.
As you say that, does a
Didn't
23
say
hit you?
anything about this at all.
No!
Does a
doesn't?
23 hit a
Yeah, of course it fucking hits me! I'm a warlock!
You take 14 points of psychic damage as the spear skewers
How much?
through you. You get 14 points of psychic.
So, I'm resistant to psychic?
Good, you take 7 points of psychic damage instead.
Hey,
as
hey,
the spear skewers through you.
Hold on. I also have this. You know.
Yeah? Oh, the apparition seems to waver for a moment. It's not real. It's a memory. It can't be harmed,
Uh-huh.
but it can harm you.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put a blanket over Dr.
Can you
Kurai.
Can you give me a wisdom saving throw now?
Oh boy, sure can. I hope I roll high. That would be a natural 20. For
Very
failing.
high. Outside, in the real world, you are not surprised, nor are you frightened by suddenly seeing a wound open up on Kiki's shoulder and blood pouring out as suddenly she also starts to shake.
Oh good lord. Alright.
Perfect, you can react immediately.
Oh boy. Yeah. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are y'all doing in there?
Well, it's just outside the tent. You know, you could get help.
I don't think I can wake them up, can I?
No.
You can
we're not,
try.
like- well, we're not like
No,
sleeping.
I don't
Like,
think-
it's a magical effect.
Checking to see if I have calm emotion suppressed.
Please! I
Oh,
can't cast it
God.
on myself.
Kurai, in-game, can you give me an intelligence save as suddenly you see yourself in the memory approaching the soldiers?
Okay, let's go. Round 2.
Trying
for
to
a
focus
roll.
on your own thoughts.
Let's go! I'm taking a
You
big
falter.
SL right here.
It's a good
Your
old
memory
Good old 8.
Good old
the
mate.
memory alternates, and some of the soldiers manage to actually get a few lethal hits on you. As the memory alternates so heavily, your memory self perishes before your eyes, and Kurai, you suffer 30 points of psychic damage.
Why are y'all like
As the memory dies, it reforms.
Kurai?
this? Yeah, okay. I have calm emotions.
Oh?
It's a second level spell. I just don't know how to read.
Oh no.
I
Is
can
it
calm
prepared?
these fuckers down. It's prepared. It's
Oh, thank goodness.
concentration. I just don't know how to fucking read my own spell sheet. Yeah. So I can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. I'm gonna cast anti-anxiety on Dr. Kurai, who started shaking.
I love
Very
that.
well. If that's the case, Kurai, give me an intelligence save with advantage.
Thank you.
As you are feeling a sense of serenity fill you, and you notice within the memory, oh, Kiki will also say this, a few moths cling to your shoulders. The memory version of yourself steals their determination and marches forward, blocking a few of the attacks and getting a few of the civilians out of harm's way. It is at that moment you see another soldier enter the fray. Hertz, you catch eyesight of your fellow troops.
Uh-huh.
Behind you is a small battalion of soldiers, and ahead of you, you see above one of the buildings one of the siege giants grabbing a piece of a house and tossing it into a nearby alliance stronghold. This is the
Right.
first time you saw Kurai, right here. How did you react back then?
Would I know that Kurai is the battle priest?
Yeah, the garb is
Uh,
very
It's
obvious.
very noticeable.
So hers would just buckle up, and just you can see his branding, you can see him pull out and brandish his morning star, just kind of like slowly approach Kurai, like, you know, ready to strike at any moment.
It is at that point that the memory resumes as normal. Hertz begins striding towards Kurai, and suddenly the soldiers stop, and so does Kurai and you, Hertz, as the giant looks around. A heavy voice fills the air, and giant words spoken thunderously. So, does any of you speak giant?
Kurai, I think Kurai does, but let me
I
double check.
actually,
Kurai
actually,
does,
I
yes.
do.
The elves do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the weird
Within the memory,
languages that
you
I
would
know.
hear the giant say, or rather hear the giant hear. They have broken. Now this city belongs to the Giant King. Proceed as Ymir orders. And the giant holds the top of the house, and instead of throwing to the barrison before him, turns the troops surrounding Kurai and Hertz, and tosses part of the building towards them. Kurai's memory form dodges out of the way just in time, but the rest of you, well, might not be so lucky. Kurai, can you give me an intelligence saving throw with advantage again due to calm emotions?
Advantage. Oh, these anxiety pills are doing good favor, just like in real life.
Bussin'.
Don't say anything before you. Okay, there we go.
Kiki, do you instinctively get out of the way, or do you know that this will not hurt you?
I mean, I feel like I'm holding on to Kiki as well as instinct, just to like move her away from danger and harm.
Weirdly, Kiki stands still because it's not her memory, and she knows it's a memory. Like she's not living through it; she's just observing.
The tree breaks apart. The soldiers are squashed onto the ground by the heavy mass of stone that obliterates them. Beneath the stonework, Hertz is completely overwhelmed. Kurai themselves, as they dodged out of the way, still got skewered by hazardous rock. As they get up, they try to stand up. You all see them. At this point, You notice that Kurai has suffered heavy wounds, but they still managed to retain consciousness well enough. However, Hertz, your previous self at this point, covered in the rubble, barely has a moment to say something before losing consciousness. What do you say at that time to catch Kurai's attention? As you felt the life live your body.
I think it will most likely be something incredibly profane and threatening.
Absolutely.
And likely in a language that Kurai at the time did not understand. But it did catch their attention. Kurai, how did you react seeing the soldier looking up at you from
They
under the rubble?
looked. Is hers standing or is he like underneath the rubble?
I look like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm beneath the house.
Okay, alright. Might as well take them boots. No, I'm just joking.
Motherfucker.
They are. Well, they are kind of like surprised that she survived, but in shock, not having feeling that they're being threatened. And it's gonna keep note of whatever her spoke to them.
As Kurai stands to look, the giants begin their betrayal. Both Gavarian soldiers and Alliance troops are smashed to bits by giant brute force and magic. They call down all manner of devastating spell work, simple but effective. The very skies themselves crackling with lightning as storm itself ravages the battlefield. The city becomes a danger zone in but a few moments. Rai turns to go back, but notices that many of the troops that they came here with already run away in fear and, well, for lack of a better word, disgrace. Most of them are normal people. This level of devastation, even though it hurts both sides, is not something they can actually manage. Survival instinct does kick in. In a moment of uncertainty, Kurai took a gamble. The only other person there at the time was an enemy. However, at this moment, the lines between foe and friend, they were getting a bit too blurry. And at this point, they were all just lives in danger. Kurai rushed to Hertz and tried to get them out of the rubble, maybe try to get the weapon they had.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the weapon. Like, screw helping him in physical. I'm taking that weapon away from him.
What the fuck?
I seen what you've done to my fellow soldiers. No.
Yep, grabs the weapon. However, Hertz still had a bit of consciousness in them. Enough to understand that the weapon got taken from them in that brief moment and that another person was so close. Hertz, in that moment, your lung was punctured. You were feeling already your life force leaving you. Quickly. You understood you were betrayed. You understood also that you needed help.
Alright. But I knew they were, like, nearby. Like, if they took my Morris, I knew they would be...
Very close, yes.
I think I would just kind of, like, try to, like, latch onto them.
In the memory, Kurai, you see yourself getting grabbed, one hand, by the gloved hand of Hertz, holding yours. How did you react to that?
I'm gonna react in a whole surprise and a mixture of fear. And I'm gonna try to kick the hand off of me.
You do so. It's not hard. You kick the hand off and the hand goes down. You tried to cling to someone. You couldn't.
Man, he's such a grabby man. Got them grabby hands.
The weapon is away from them now.
Yeah.
Kurai, you watch it as simple Morning Star.
I'm gonna look back at the rubble, see if there's like any respawn.
I think I'll just like still try to like feel if something there, and if not, I think he would just
At this point,
kind
your
of
vision,
kind of accept that I am fucked.
your vision is blurry, your ears are ringing, your consciousness is once again fading for good this time.
Are the giants still around?
The giant has trampled off. The one that you did have in your sights anyway. But you do hear it in the distance, the crashing of woodwork and stonework alike.
And I don't hear anything from hers, like no voice, no vocals, just the grabby hands out there. Probably
Not so
flicking
much.
me off, giving me the bird.
I don't think the Hertz would have the strength to flip you off at this point. It's
No.
just
Oh,
the
that's sad.
shaking of a dying person in your eyes.
Karai is gonna take a deep breath and exhale, thinking to herself that they're gonna probably regret this in the future. They're gonna place the Morning Star down, further away from hers, and head back over and move some of the rebels to see if that will help him out. And
The rubble is-
and while doing that, I'm gonna keep an eye on to make sure no other giants are coming.
Desperate, you start to move the rock. At that time, you were still a bit younger, and well, in a really decent form. You managed to push the rock off of the old man, or
Not
at the
old.
time young. At the time young. The time young.
Nah, he's always been old.
Yep.
Oh,
Was
Who's
born
the-
80 years old. You're right. Fucking Benjamin Button over here.
I was born with arthritis.
Oh god.
at age 6, I was born without a face.
You drag the person out from the rubble. It's not hard. It's just dangerous. But you managed to do it.
And I am
Ev-
gonna back away and head back to where I placed the Morning Star down, just in case he's gonna try to snatch it.
Hurts, you're breathing heavily, but I'll be honest, buddy. You can't really feel your body. It's all just going through the motions. You did- For a brief moment, you felt the weight of the rock being lifted.
I think
This-
hers would like still be so like knocked out, so he would just kind of lay there and spit blood.
Blood covers the inside of your mask. A mask meant to protect your identity in the eyes of the enemy. Alright.
Are there any Givarian soldiers nearby that are like coming towards this whole incident?
Most of the you can see are dead.
Oh man, well that's a shame.
And the alliance you can see in your vision has fled. It's just you and this dying man. What did you do back then?
Hold on, I'm going through my spells. What do I have? You know what? Okay.
I don't have no spells at this point.
Yeah, you're just average Joe. I'm gonna cast mass healing words and say to him, "Don't make me regret doing this to you."
Weaves into the air and mends your wounds ever so slightly, just enough to keep you alive. But you notice, Korai, as the magic weaves, the person before you takes a deep breath and then promptly just collapses, consciousness just giving way into unconsciousness. At this
That
point,
didn't stable him?
I'll be honest, he was dying, yeah, but heavy trauma can be physical force is not so easy to just shrug off. In
What you
addition,
mean?
you hear in the distance trampling, heavy trampling.
If I cast Death Ward on him, will that keep him alive?
Probably.
Alright. I'm gonna carefully head back towards him and cast Death Ward on him.
The magic envelops him, and the protective ward is placed. But out here, he probably would not survive. You knew this at the time. Simple stomp from a giant would end his life, and with it, your protection. This is the moment where you had to make a choice.
Since there's no one around, no Gavarians around, how close is the Gavarian camp to where I could drop him off but not being seen by the Gavarians? Just have him close to the area where they can find
The
him.
Gavarian camp was too far away at the time, outside the walls. Your own encampment was closer. But you
Yeah,
don't know
my
if it
men
was...
ain't gonna like that. My men ain't gonna like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Is he-
dying.
Is he breathing? Is he conscious?
He is breathing. Like, as you consider what you do, you hear someone from behind you yell out in a language you don't understand, and you see a soldier, Gavarian. He holds onto a spear pointing towards your direction. Blood streaming down one eye.
I'm gonna quickly adjust Her's body so he's just like sitting up, and I'm gonna make my way downtown and get away out of the other Gavarian.
As you drag him, in the memory, it is really hard. You're moving away from them, and you trip. Simple as you take a step, and the heavy body slumps to the ground. The soldier looks towards you, dragging this, the other Gavarian before him. And he stops pointing. He lowers the spear and looks up, and then looks down and rushes towards you, and picks up the body from the other side. You see it in the distance, what you saw, a giant slowly approaching. He's helping you drag him off towards one of the alleyways of the city, trying to get out of sight.
I'm gonna pat Hers on the face to see if he's conscious, like, hey.
As your
Hey, you awake?
consciousness slowly returns as
You awake? You up?
Your body is healed. The other soldier, as the giant passes, speaks in the Gavarian tongue. Hertz, is that you?
I'm slowly gaining conscious back, right?
Mm-hmm. Scheiße.
Scheiße, der Schweinhund. And I think it is like slowly sort of like, feel if I could feel like any punctures like in my ribs.
You
then,
feel alright.
Yeah, when I'm like, oh, they actively bleeding.
The magic has, for the most part, stopped the most grievous bleeding, but
Yeah.
you're gonna
But
need
it's
some.
not like a lead pipe shoved into my ribs.
No, it's more like chunks of rock stuck.
Yeah,
between
yeah,
your
I got
ribs.
shrapnel. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Shrapnel never hurt anybody.
Hmm.
But when I hear them like call out for my name, he's gonna like try to like open his eyes and look around.
You see one of the soldiers, a person you know, same squadron as you at the time, and also a person you don't know, an Alliance cleric. The moment it instinctively rushes over you, and the moment you try to move your hand, a stinging pain rushes through your body. Moving is very hard right now.
I would just kind of. How far away is the Allegiance cleric?
How far away were you from Hertz the moment like you let him down on the wall in the alley? Kurai.
How far?
How far away were you from Hertz after you let him down? His consciousness was regained.
I would say, kind of like roughly 20, 25 distance of feet away from him, just so I can vividly see his condition, but enough for me to get a head start to book it if he starts getting up.
Just far enough.
And I'm gonna look over at hers and be like, "Hey, can you understand common?"
Just kind of nod.
There is a giant behind us. When I heal you, I'm gonna need you to use those legs and get the fuck out of here as far as you can. Then, later on, who knows, if we're still alive, you could come after and try to kill me. But for now, we need to get away from the giant.
Kind of just wanna like squint, like doubting. But I heard other Gavarian voices, right?
Yep.
We just kind of
There's a soldier right next to you.
yeah, we just kind of like nod.
Alright. And again, I'm gonna say in an Elvish, saying, I really hope I don't regret doing this.
Very well.
Oh, there we go.
The magic begins to take effect. As it does so, the rest of you all see this scene. Magic restores the body of Hertz and Blood, and they manage to stand up. As they run away from the giant in a moment of, well, the giant being preoccupied with smashing some other foe, they run to the street. As you're running, you realize that the streets have changed. Battlefield shifted as much of the rubble creates new pathways. As you're running, the soldier looks up to you, Hertz. How did you survive? What just happened? We're getting betrayed and now this? Why are we running with an alliance?
That is something not even I can answer at this point of time.
Fine. Questions for later. As you're running, you turn an alleyway, and the soldier asks, "Shit! They have blocked out the ridge. Look." He points towards the breaking point of the wall where most of you soldiers came in. A giant was already in the process of blocking it with stray rubble, stopping the reinforcements. They're closing you into the city. Please. At that moment, the soldier points towards one of the other buildings and says, "We need to hide."
It's kind of nod and book it over.
Kurai, you notice the two people rush towards one of the nearby houses and enter it.
Mm-hmm.
In the distance, you see your own encampment. Needless to say, heavy boulders have crushed most of the tents that you had set up.
Oof. I'm gonna rush in there. Hopefully there's at least some survivors, some of the items, supplies are okay.
You run towards the camp and you find a grisly scene. Can you give me an intelligence saving throw again? With advantage due to the
Oh
calling emotions.
boy! Here we go. You said advantage, right?
In real time, you know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is with advantage.
There is only the corpses of those who resigned here. Soldiers and priests alike, battered and slain. The heavy footfall of giant fists and legs, leaving craters on the stonework. It's a massacre. Splatters of blood, leaving no form behind that is recognizable apart from bits. Your stomach turns, but you manage to maintain the memory's effects well enough. The memory is stable at this point, Kiki. You could choose to end it again. But Kurai, in a moment of fear and panic, runs away. Towards the only other place where some semblance of safety is present, as you are cut off from your forces. So you run to the same house that the two Kivarians entered in. In times of trouble, safety is scarce. The three of you, Hertz, the soldier, and Yukurai, all stand in the same little space for a brief moment. The war sounds outside, well, they are deafening. The soldier looks to the two of you, and looks to Hertz and says, "Look, it followed us." I forgot my weapon outside.
I kind of want to like look like, okay, like I remember me having my morning star.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not there, baby.
It's not there anymore.
Do I still have my longsword on me?
I don't believe that was taken away from you.
No.
Yeah, those guys kind of branch it, you know. At this point, Hertz is basically fight or flight as a wounded animal trapped. So he's kind of holding, you know, the long sword, shakingly.
You know common?
Is he talking to Kurai?
He asked Hertz.
Oh.
Nods. Kleine.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. Not feeling so good. That to me seems like a light crown. When I found you, he was nursing your wounds. Don't know why. Something tells me he might be naive. Ask him if he can mend mine.
Look over to Kurai. Pointing one sword to Kurai, on the other hand to Steve.
Steve.
That was his name, Steve.
Oh,
Steve.
what a great name.
Well, okay, well, it's fine. Let's keep with the German name. His name is Oswald.
No, let's keep it to Steve.
Steve. Steve, the guard. And just kind of, with a broken common, just kind of go, "Are you a healing man?"
Yes, I am.
Kind of points her to him. Heal me, heal him.
Kurai is going to stay quiet for a moment, and they are going to cast tongues, so it'll be easier to communicate with hers, seeing that common is not his first language. So, gonna help him up a little bit. If I heal you, and I heal your buddy, what is gonna happen next? How will I know you're not gonna try to attack me after all of this? I healed you enough for you to move. You should be fine.
Takes a while and lowers his sword. This is in Givorian tongue, right?
Yes.
For saving one's life, the only fair payback is one would keep yours. Until dawn has cleared and we are safe to leave, no harm shall come your way.
I'm gonna insight check him. I'm gonna vibe check young
God,
hers.
this
My
fucking vibe
My
checks.
turn to vibe check him.
At the time, you don't have to. You know what the outcome is already.
Oh, okay, present
It's
Kurai
memory.
does. Past Kurai don't.
True. But this is a memory. This is an event that has happened, so you can roll it if you want.
You know, just for fun. I want to join the club.
Vibe checking.
Ah, and that one.
It is
Yeah,
a
I knew that would
common-
happen.
Oh.
Most of your feelings tell you to be suspicious.
The only vibe check that has failed is the person that I has a backstory with and I would trust my life with.
I know, right?
Most of your instincts and your education tells you to be cautious. But in this very moment, those feelings subside and are drowned out by a desire for survival. And honestly, he seems earnest. Perhaps a bit too earnest.
I'm also
in
bleeding
Kurai's eyes.
profoundly.
Also that. The soldier, as Kurai seems to relax a little bit, looks over the herds. Ah. Shit. Fine. You can speak our language, so you can communicate at least. Fancy crown trick.
It's kind of
Just a
scoffs.
simple magic.
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
Alright, don't knock it. Many of ours do it.
Yeah, where are they?
I don't know. Must be out there.
Did you not see the fields of battle?
Yeah,
My
I saw
friend.
it.
My friend. Let's be stark in this moment of brief triumph. Odds are slim there are more of us than you and me.
Well, for now, I'll have to take your word. There's nothing else. We need to escape. The city is lost. Giants have taken it. Although I guess there could be others. Look, I don't know. So what were you? He looks away from Kurai and brings you close. What the hell are you doing, promising him that?
If it's not honor, if it's not the promise of a better future, then what are we if not Gavarians?
He's.
The Empire stands.
Why do you believe that he will keep that word that you are giving him? Why do you think he'll reciprocate it?
Look at him. He's the size of a midget.
Soldier
If
looks
this man decides to, at some point, turn sour, if this light crown decides that we are off to no good, easy. Deck him out, rip his guts, and flee the morning.
You still wax as poetically as you did back in the camp. Fine. Scheisse, just... God, you sound old, you know that? Older than the commander.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, of course you do. Alright. Hey! Long ears. We're friends. All friends here. So... let's get down to dressing these wounds first. And no funny business. I'm watching you.
I expect the same thing from you. And I'll look over at hers as well, especially from him.
Just gonna like stare him down.
Oh, you have nothing to fear from him. Oh, and that's no joke. There's no man better in the military than Herzenblut.
Yeah,
He looks towards
sure.
you.
Okay.
He couldn't. He looks towards it. This man couldn't lie to save his own mother. And I'm sorry. I know that hurts.
Just a bit below the belt.
Yeah, well, I have shrapnel in my fucking head. I don't.
You're not the
feel
only
great.
one.
Shit, you too?
If you missed that part, I got a house upon me.
Right? Oh, I got myself a nice part of, like, a window.
Fancy.
Yeah. And he slumps down to the wall. The three of you stayed there for a few moments. Kurai, did you dress their wounds?
I will, yes.
In that brief moment of you patching up one another, deep silence fell upon you both. Distrust is common between enemies, but the wounds were heavily mended. In fact, you felt better than ever before. This radiant light that filled the room ever so briefly and closed up all of your wounds. Kurai took care of the shrapnel within your bodies, and
I just want
injuries
to
were over.
know that he would, in his conscious mind, not be keen to magical healing.
I believe at that moment the soldier would like hold you down and say like, "We can take what we can get to survive here. So, be patient and just let this help for the time being. Just be patient here, alright?" The three of you stood there in the house after a while. Bandages covered heads and the other soldier. Kurai, you were in the process of removing the glass shards that were broken completely from your glasses. Your vision is a bit impaired at the time. You know this.
I'm gonna cast Mending to fix it. Easy
And
peasy.
fixed. Just like that.
Just like that, easy. So you see their eyes glow purple for a hot minute as they cast Mending to the glasses. And they're just gonna like double check to make sure like no glass shards are like missing and everything's fixed. Good as new.
Pristine as the day you bought them. Almost as pristine as the day your father gave them to you when you were younger. Hurts.
Mhm.
It was at this point the soldier actually stood up and went, "Well, I'm not gonna stick around, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for the help, Crown, but we need to leave. This city is a warfield. I don't care about I'm not gonna be honest, I thought about it. I don't so much care about the well-being of my fellow soldiers. Sorry, Hertz. I want to survive this fight. Not die here.
Coward.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, a coward survives. Hey, if you are so happy, if you're so willing, stay here."
I just kind of like want to grab the sword while sitting down, just kind of like contemplate, like, is it worth friendly fire to just kill a man?
Oh, I know that's that look. But you don't scare me. What are you gonna do? Kill me?
That was the plan.
Fucking seriously? Stick to your thoughts, miserable man. I'm getting out. I want to live. I have things worthy to live for. Still. And the soldier stands up. Try not to die, though. Be a real shame. Grabs a broken piece of wood and heads out. Two of you are left in the room.
Well, he
So,
seems friendly towards you.
Can I go side eye and spit up a bunch of blood and go, Schweinhund. Well, the odds of my survival were dramatically reduced since it's only you and me here now.
Are all Gavarian soldiers like this towards you?
The House of War isn't a they aren't a bunch of close friends, if you would believe it.
I wouldn't call that friend right there.
He's kind of looked off and trailing away. Well, they're either all dead or fleeing.
Well, most of the Gavarian soldiers that were with you before the incident of the giants are surely dead. Though, I won't be surprised some of them managed to flee. But the giant really did a mass wipeout in that area.
You see how it kind of regrets. Just start to think, whose idea was it to get the giants in? Like, what house was it?
Oh, it would be the House of War at the time.
Of course.
One of the commanding generals who was, of course, treated appropriately after the battle. He survived, and he was punished for his failures and the deaths he caused by entrusting the giants. This was a move that was done in hopes of fostering an alliance with the giants of the Mountain Hold around the city. A group of giants that for a long time disliked the humans that lived within the place that you wanted to conquer, and they had made a bargain. The giants would fight in the Empire and be indoctrinated into Givari as a proper whole, and in turn, they would be allowed to follow their traditions and do what they wanted. As far as giant kind could go, there were a lot of freedoms provided. It turned out that the giants did not care for the agreement and saw people as lesser by default. And they acted appropriately, taking advantage of the opportunity given to them and betraying their allies in hopes of total victory.
So answer me this. What were you guys thinking in recruiting the giants? Did you manage to think fully through on what will happen if they do somehow betray you? Were you fully prepared? And honestly, I don't know what you guys were thinking trying to recruit the giants to the war.
I want to look over to Crying. Well, large cannon fodder, great siege warfare, stout and quite hardy. Ideal for siege warfare. If you do not count the dragons, of course.
And look what happened with the giants. Look where you ended up, look here where I ended up, and that guy, that asshole. It's just out there.
It's gonna die anyways.
Yeah. He's not gonna last a second out there.
If I manage to make it back to the Imperium walls, the Imperium will hang him.
So, are you guys gonna clean up this whole mess with this whole giant? Are you gonna deal with everything that happened? Because obviously, this is the Gavarian's mess. This is your mess right there. You're part of it.
My mess.
You're part of the Gavarian. What else? If you guys did not recruit the giant, we wouldn't be in this situation. You will still be
so well
standing
beyond. Do you think
onto your two
that I
legs
would
and you
want
still
to
have
be
both of your
at
eyes.
war?
You think I want to be at war?
Come on, lean back and look over to guy going like, the giants, in hindsight, I'll give you that. It's a catastrophic mistake. However, in the dire situation that is the Empire, we do not simply wage war because our borders are growing thin or our population are growing masses. It's to us that your tyrannical and narrow-minded ways of life is being seen. That you look at yourself as so high and mighty. You look at yourself as the righteous white knights in your kind of jest over to his armor, in your shining armor.
Let me guess. Did
The
he tell
reason-
all of that to you in school?
What do you know of Givarian? What do you know of our teachings? What do you know of what do you know of our history and culture?
What does Kurai know much about it so far?
Not much. Givaria's secrets are secret for a reason.
Fine then, keep your secret.
But you would know it is rigorous. And they don't really connect with the outside world.
You said you Gavarians are proud of what you're doing, correct?
I died with honor.
Would you still be proud? And entering a village and slaughtering innocent people, all ages, men, women, children, and senior citizens. Would you still be proud of slaughtering for the people who have done nothing to you?
You can see how that question took him kind of offside. Like, are you speaking of raiding and pillaging?
Yes.
If it were a small settlement, a hamlet of sorts, we would not wage war with it. We would doctrinate. We would embrace them. For Gvaria is caring. And
It's why.
slaughter innocents, you speak so highly about it. As if you do not share the same coat of blood as I.
Slaughtering the innocents? No. Quite opposite. I'm not much of an attacker. More of a healing and defense, if you must say.
That is clear, but I'm not speaking for you yourself. I'm speaking for you as in kind of points toward the crest, as in Crown Alliance.
Whatever the Clan Alliance do, that's their business. I'm not fully part of it. As I stated to you, I did not want to join this war, but here I am.
Seems like we got something in common then, Elf.
Were you forced to?
No,
Or did you have an option to join the military?
it was either a life in toil and misery and strife, or join a noble cause for the Gavarian army. He looks around in the little dank cellar that we're in, and noble it is.
Did you think far enough on how you will survive in this war? In case some incident like this happen?
I would rather not that I have planned for what to do or how to survive. More so to give in, just fade to nothing.
So you're just
If
gonna
I
give in
would-
like that?
I have nothing left.
What about your family? Do you have any families back home?
Kind of. It looks a little sad and like, afraid not. The, my dad or my father, a wonderful tactician, so I've been told, died before my uprising. And
What about your mother?
Assassinated while I was on parole.
Kurai is gonna stay silent, and their expression changed to they felt bad for hers. I'm sorry to hear about that. Is there any other way that would keep you motivated to live?
As of right now, I do not see a way forward.
Any plans on doing something once the war ended? Any interest? Hobbies?
I enjoy baking. It will most likely be as to settle down and grow old. I believe.
Baking is actually quite nice. Doing some gardening is quite relaxing as well.
Kind of gardening. I believe some honest labor might do you good.
Is Kurai aware of like the three houses of like? Of course, they're obviously aware of the House of War. What about the House of Death or Knowledge?
Jen,
Jen.
that's
Yum.
you, bud.
Yeah.
That was a question to you.
That
Oh,
was a
I
question for you.
mistake. The question was?
Is Kurai is fully aware of the House of War back then. Are they aware of the House of Death and Knowledge?
Of course. Anyone with a little bit of understanding of how Givari operates knows of the 5 houses.
Any interested in joining one of the houses in the future? Probably not the House of War. Seen after what that soldier treated you.
Thinking. As of now, I do not.
I heard about the House of Death. Heard there are some clerics over there. And other classes as well.
Do you think after a war I would grow religious?
It's up to you. As a cleric
Canada.
myself, I follow the goddess of Erathis. I only seek for her for knowledge to help me improve medicines. I don't constantly every day pray to her, but I do have a shrine dedicated to her, and that's all I need.
That's all you need for divine rights?
Well, it could be more than that. You could have a shrine, or like you said, you could pray every day. I know some of my clerics have done that.
So
I
you're
really don't know
telling me
how
I
they can
need
do
to
that
di-
every day. Sounds
So
exhausting.
you're telling me I need to have a decorated closet or mumble a rhyme every morning, and gods themselves will aid me?
Decorative or not, however you want to portray them. It could be on a piece of clothing, it could just be accessory, it could just be like a simple item, and Kurai gesture at their armor with the gear and the star. That's all I have to represent her.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The gods seem a bit lacking in judgment if that is all that is required.
For your god? Or what about or any other gods?
I do not have a god.
And yet you say they are lacking the judgment.
Kind of smiles over to you. You're sharper than I thought in the beginning. He holds out his hand. The name's Hertz. If we're gonna be trapped here for the rest of the night, I might just stop calling you Elf.
I'm gonna stick my hand out and shake his hand. Kurai saying. And don't worry about the insults. I heard one a lot for 2 decades.
Respect. I also looks around. This is gonna sound odd. Was it you that took my morning star?
Yes, I did. I'm tired of seeing that with you. I'm tired of seeing that weapon.
May I please have it back?
You gotta earn it, buddy.
Earn?
Just
How do you
because
mean
you shake my
earn?
hand and give you your name, that doesn't mean I can easily hand it you back. You
What
gotta
else
earn
can
it.
I do? I own no land I can give.
I don't want no
Money
land.
means little meaning to me.
I don't need
am
no money.
stripped without armor.
Yeah, your armor was in really, really bad condition.
Acid tends to do that.
Well, all I can say is, you're welcome. I made that U-turn to save you underneath the rubbles.
That's why I was like, then what do you want from me?
Not much. I really don't need much. The only thing I need from you is for you not to kill me at this time.
Well, that I already agreed upon.
Then there's nothing much I need from you. All I need is for you to heal back up in full health so you can head back to your camp. And that's it.
So upon my departure, you will hand me my weapon back.
Yes.
He kind of sits back, kind of rolling thumbs, looking up at the ceiling. So tell me, the life of a cleric, what's it like?
Well, depending what path you choose as a cleric. There's cleric of light. There's many. There's actually quite many clerics out there that aren't just healers.
There's more than one form. Aren't you all just God-fearing, spell-slinging?
Yeah. We are, but we have our own purpose out there. There's a cleric of life, which I am. I aided people who are injured, who are sick. I aided people who are worth given a second chance to live. There's also a cleric of war, which
I'm done. Kind of done with that whole
you're
part.
done. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Guess you don't want to hear about the cleric of death. Goodbye. Good night. Take a take a
Pairs
nap.
up. Come again.
Oh, now you're interested.
Death has more meaning than simply just murder, maim, and kill.
If you ever do choose a path of cleric, I feel like death would suit you most. Since you already know the whole ordeal for it. Quite opposite, completely opposite of the cleric of life. In which, they're not quite bad people. Sometimes they tend to get misunderstood for some things, but they're not all bad. Pleasant people, actually.
It takes a while. After like a little, like, in-depth jump, like clergy, like how the fuck does a church work? Do you pay them and such? It's kind of wanna look at going. Tell you what, I'll try this whole god ordeal. I'm sure some of the houses may help me or aid me in some way in this.
I heard the House of Death is a great way to start your path if you want to choose there.
They seem to have a lot of people under the rules. Surprisingly well read upon the Givarian politics. Let's put it like this. If this whole cleric ordeal works, if I so may find peace or meaning with my existence at this point, I full-heartedly will devote myself to it and its cause. However, if it does not, if I find this trial of divinity tedious, boring, or in any ways degrading to the being that I am, if it works, kind of smile, I'll be forever in your aptitude and forever in your debt for saving me tonight. However, if it does not work, I'm afraid I will have to hunt you down and take this into my own matters once again.
Shirai smiles. You know what? That is a risk I'm willing to take.
It's kind of laugh and nod. Well, Elf, I believe I'll be headed trying to get some rest before we depart ways. He's going to like bundle up his kind of suit and kind of like, sit lean against the wall.
Since you are planning to choose the path of cleric, I want you to keep this note in mind later on in the future. I want you to not judge a book by its cover. Judge them by their action, and use your judgment to see if they're worth a good or bad.
It's kind of laughing. I thought that just kind of good general advice for anybody?
It's a cheesy advice, not gonna lie. That's the most cheesiest advice my dad gave to me.
Really sharp one.
Well, he was adventurous in his past life before he settled down.
Well, my dad led the army, so I think my dad's cooler.
Your dad is dead.
Did you have to bring that up so? I told you about his demise tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he may be cool, but sir, I'm sorry. It's a circle of life.
Circle of death. Finger guns.
I'm just gonna smack my hand on his wounded eye when he does that.
You're gonna smack my eye?
Yeah, I'm gonna smack his eye to heal it.
Mac.
Appreciated. And how long is this memory?
At that point, memory begins to fade from seriousness as the rest of you observing it. You realize Karai has stabilized. Most of the rest of the memory is history at this point. Actually, history. Karai, you were looking for something, so did Kiki here. Have you found it?
Have I found what?
What you were looking for?
I wasn't really looking for anything. I just wanted Kiki to get on the whole backtape of hers to show who he is and that he's willing to change and become a better person and help. And that if he was his old self, him will be. I don't want to go through this again. And the promise that he made as well. Not really looking much.
Very well then. That is the case. Kiki, do you wish to end it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
close the book.
that's a bit of a grim question, isn't it?
I will burn
Do
this
you wish to
memory.
end
No
it?
more, no more hers. Goodbye. No.
No more hers. No more
No, hang on.
28-year-old young man. He is now 58 years old with arthritis and bad knees.
To be honest, I think I had that at that point too.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry.
You have
War
always
will do
been
that
an
to
old
you, won't it?
man. Yeah.
War
Your
ages
heart.
you real quick.
Yeah.
Yo, Ward
Very
does
well.
that, yeah.
Everyone's just like, man, I can't believe that war was like 50 years ago. It's like 2 weeks. Like, what happened to Hertz? It's like,
What the fuck? I have murdered a small continent in 2 weeks.
Very well then. Kiki, you stand over Hertz and you plunge your hand down his chest, and Hertz is gone. I am, of course, joking.
I did.
You
Wait,
end the memory.
no, you can't take my dream. Nah.
You end the memory by closing the book.
Darn.
As the book closes, the memory ends, and you enter again the palace. Except you notice something in the palace before you leave. You see in it, a little figure, a little tiny figure.
Hee, it's that.
It resembles a young, half-elven boy.
It's you.
I'm full.
You know this half-elven boy, Kiki. He's just sitting, reading a book. Looks up at you and waves.
Oh, I wave back at him.
Hello.
Hi.
These are some nice books. You have good memories.
Me or her?
He shrugs.
Kiki's just
You know, I
standing
mean-
there, not saying anything. She doesn't know how to react.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Any memory that happened before 30 years ago, yeah, it's kind of pleasant, but During the war, absolutely not. Should be filtered so no kids will see it.
Hmm.
Well, whose memory is he reading there?
Oh. It's these ones. I don't know who this is, but sometimes I do. The book says river.
Oh, like the crow.
Yeah, like the crow. Sometimes it comes here. Keeps me company.
When did you get here?
Hmm. Ever since you thought of me, I think. I am a memory, so.
I've never stopped thinking about you.
I know. That's why I'm still here.
Do you know him, Kiki?
In her mind palace, and also, you know, in her actual body, she's full on crying.
I really don't. Yeah, you're not looking too hot. We should head out. I really don't know how to, because this is my first time here.
You can just think about it.
Just think about it. Are you gonna think about it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I should let you know of something.
Yeah?
It came back, but it left.
What
When?
came back?
When did it came back?
There was
A
another
month
person
ago.
here.
Oh, it's not a person. Can't stay. But it is trying to get back. To reach you. You don't let it anymore. That's good. I don't like it.
Should I be worried about this?
Maybe. Are you a memory?
No. I mean, no. I'm just a
Oh, not
visitor. Yet. I mean, that's true. Yet.
Oh, that's nice. Well, stay a while.
I wish we could, but we have other things to take care of first.
Alright. I will keep reading this book.
Yeah,
And as the little boy
you do
opens the
that.
book, it disappears and the book falls onto the floor.
I was not prepared for this. You doing okay, Miss Kiki?
That was my son.
No. Oh.
Who's been dead for hundreds of years.
Is this your first time seeing him? After all those years?
Yes, and I guess I got some old demons coming back. Wonderful. Well,
Ooh. Okay.
time to wake up.
Yes, that's another issue. That's a future you problem. Sorry, but we got other things. We really got other things to worry about. I'm really sorry.
Kurai, I snap my
Yeah.
fingers and we wake up. Or yeah, we wake up. Well, definitely
wake up.
was something.
Persephone, you notice
Yeah.
them waking up nice and peaceful.
Oh, cool. I got the blood taken care of. That they have blankets on. You know.
Oh, that was really nice of you.
Yeah. Well, you're thrashing a bit. Got a little worried.
Yeah. Now Terrace does that to you too. Thank
Oh,
God I
yeah.
went to sleep for 4 hours.
It's a bit brutal. Did you get everything sorted, Kiki?
Yeah. Could I just show me what you want to show? Hertz has definitely changed over these years. I can definitely admit to that. But he has always been a little bit like he just gives off a weird vibe. Like it's not just me.
Yeah. I mean, he's 7 feet tall. He's goth looking. His outfit looks a little bit torn, not gonna lie. He can't help it.
And he did seem like an old man when you already met him, which doesn't make sense because he's a human. And he
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not the only one who noticed.
Some people are just born old.
You have manners.
His mom taught his manners, okay?
Don't worry, Hertz. I still tolerate you.
Bro, you want to murder me the most in here.
That's what I say. Tolerate.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Listen,
However.
when I met Coda, he was like genocide all elves. Maybe not this one. Maybe.
What?
Ancient times. As all of you are gathering.
Story for another time.
You
What?
can go through his memories, and you can see why.
A person enters into the tent. Grim Thought enters in and says, "So I hear you are actually planning something. So I've been busy. I've been managing the clan and all. Are you doing okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Just took a little nap.
Oh,
we
good.
do have a plan. It is in motion. Now we're just waiting for some more information.
Oh, perfect. I can take a break from all this from all this work business.
Perfect.
Oh, by the way, why is everyone looking a bit glum? I don't know. Been a while. I've been doing work for so long it feels like months.
Yeah.
It does feel like 2 weeks has passed since we haven't talked. In fact, it almost feels like a month.
We're gonna
I
post
don't
more,
look.
I see.
The end credits, as we're gonna end the session there.
Oh,
Yeah, the credit. Where
never.
is he pointing at? I don't see any
knows?
no words.
Who knows? But I think this is a fair place to call it. Very nicely. For those of you who watch this session, I don't know, I am sorry, and thank you for watching.
Wait,
Why
you're
are you
sorry?
apologizing?
Why are you sorry?
Apologize.
I'm sorry for a lot of things. Hope everyone had fun.
No.
Today, Kiki, kill it.
Okay.
Destroy it.
Well, okay, wait, hold up now.
Destroy
No.
it.